Shayla, do you want to start? Because I know we didn't do our whole.
Yep, I'll let you start because this is your, and I'll pick up.
Okay. So one of the biggest questions sometimes that I come across are, should I be an LLC or assume name certificate, right? And I'm gonna just put it out the window. I am not a fan of the assumed name certificate at all. Not a fan, right? What is an assumed name certificate? So I'm going to show. Well, I'm only going to speak about it from Illinois. My office is based out of Chicago, and I'm in Chicago, Illinois. We do, both of us, Shayla and I both do work with clients in all 50 states. Okay. So we're not limited to our state that we're in. She's in Georgia, I'm in Illinois, but we do work with clients in all 50 states. But for the purposes of keeping this simple, right, we're both going to explain and kind of break it down from our state level. So for Illinois, if you are looking to do an assumed business name registration, pretty much what you are doing is you are taking the assumed name, which is also known as the DBA name, right? To use that name as a business entity that uses a name other than the business you're operating under. So let's just say if you're John Jones, right? Because remember, if you're not registered, you're running your businesses as a sole proprietor. So when you're a sole proprietor, you're running your businesses under your name, all right? Your personal name. So if you're John Jones, right? And then you want to do business, let's say you do auto shop. So you may want to do Jones Auto Shop, right? Some people will go and file an assumed name certificate to be able to use John's Auto Shop. That way you not just have your whole, personal name out there as the company, but a lot of people do that. So back in the day, when you started a company, before we knew about setting up corporations and LLCs, how real business worked, people will open up a business in a community, but it will be as a sole proprietor. So you may see back in the day, Mr. Jenkins, right? It was Jenkins Candy Shop. And so a lot of people started their companies under an assumed name. So you're still using your personal information. You get what I'm saying? You're still a sole proprietor. You still have no protection, no asset protection, and then you really don't own the name, right? So people who would register or use an assumed name, again, are sole proprietors or general partnerships or professional services corporations, okay? This is pretty much how it is in Illinois. You also have to run an ad in the paper pretty much for 30 days, okay? That's my biggest problem right there, okay? If you're going to take the time to run an ad, pay for a certificate, you might as well have registered your company as an LLC or a corporation, okay? You're waiting 30 days to use an assumed name, right? Again, it's an assumed name. That's the biggest thing. If you just go on the Secretary of State website and register John's Auto Shop LLC, you'll have that paperwork. Some states in Illinois, you could pay in 24 hours and pay an extra expediting fee and have your paperwork in 24 hours. Or you could wait the 5 to 7 days for them to process it the long way and you pay $150. You get what I'm saying? And now you actually have a separate company from your name, your personal name. So when most people come to me and say, Patrice, should I be in an LLC or a corporation? And when we're sitting down, I completely hate an assumed name. I just personally do. Okay. That's my personal opinion and how it is. Because again, we're talking you from a business, accounting, tax level, right? You're getting a bunch of different levels here between Shayla and I. All right. So Shayla, what do you think about that particular analogy?
I absolutely agree 100%. It is the same exact way in Georgia, except for the differences. I think you have to do it when it comes to the newspaper. You definitely have to publish a copy of their registration in your local newspaper. I think in Georgia, it's at least once a week for 2 consecutive weeks. But you have to publish it in the newspaper of the sheriff's office where they use their legal advertisements. So the time that it takes for you to do all these things that she said you had to do, you could have cut that time in half just by forming an LLC to begin with, and then having other things up under that. So I'm like you, I'm not a fan of it. It just takes too much time. There's no legal protection behind it. Then the question would be, why are you doing it? You know, so
Exactly.
so that's what it'll come to. But no, I'm not a big fan of them. It's just, why would you do it? You could just start an LLC.
Right.